Thank you, Cade. From your local election headquarters, we're continuing our coverage of the midterm election and the races that are not over just yet. As of this morning, we're seeing a statewide turnout of 47.5%. That number will go up as counties continue to process ballots. So let's break down some of the biggest counties. So far, Salt Lake County seeing 39%. In Utah County, it's 61% turnout, and then 53% turnout for Davis.
And now to the results in the state's biggest race. Republican Senator Mike Lee beating out independent challenger Evan McMullin for the Senate seat. Political scientists now telling us these results are a good indicator of what we might see in future elections. Lee currently holding that 14-point lead. ABC4's Jordan Burroughs speaking with political expert James Curry at the University of Utah today. And Jordan, what's the latest message?
Emily, the message we got from James Curry was that it'll take decades for an independent or a Democrat to take a seat in the U.S. Senate here in Utah. But he says if that independent or Democrat would act a little bit more like a moderate, then they would be able to unseat a Republican. Between this race of Senator Mike Lee and the challenger at the moment, Evan McMullin, he says it was more about Mike Lee.
It's close by Utah standards, right? Which isn't close. This is not a close outcome.
Senator Mike Lee has won his 3 U.S. Senate elections by double digits. In 2010 by 29 points, in 2016 by 41 points, and this election by roughly 14 points. Votes are still being counted, however. James Curry, a political science professor at the University of Utah, said McMullin's campaign and defeat should be a learning lesson for the Democratic Party.
Evan McMullin is showing Democrats that you can do okay, probably still can't win, if you run somebody who's a bit more moderate against some of these Republican incumbents. That it's not just the label that's the problem, it's also the policy positions for Democrats. And maybe this should inspire them.
Curry said it would take someone more moderate to unseat Senator Mike Lee. He added moderate Republicans have been shown to not vote with party lines.
There's a large, significant subset of otherwise Republican-leaning voters in this state who are not comfortable with Donald Trump and not comfortable with the direction the party is taking Donald Trump. And Mike Lee has effectively been tied very closely to the Trump wing of the Republican Party.
Mike Lee and Evan McMullin both addressed their supporters once McMullin conceded the election. Lee said the best is yet to come. McMullin said unity is what made the results closer than what they had been in past elections. Curry said Lee may need to rethink his strategy if he runs for a 4th term.
Political science research would suggest you should see him take some shifts in his opinions. That when a candidate faces an unexpectedly tough challenge and survives, they tend to adjust their issue positions, the positions they're taking on some issues.
When Evan McMullin addressed his supporters last night at his watch party, there was no indication of what's next for McMullin. We do know from Curry, he says that McMullin is becoming more and more of a household name, so he should bode well in future elections just because Utahns are familiar with him. Reporting live in Salt Lake City, Jordan Burroughs, ABC4 News.